Hey guys, so I think this is working okay. I am still in the barn, so I thought I'd give a little tour out there. There's our covered arena, and there's the new barn. Up the hill is the old barn and our all-weather paddocks, and I'm still here because this is what happens. We are still in the barn. I'm going to go in my office because I have some exciting things to share with you guys, and I hope this lighting is okay. Let me just get up here. Oh, I'm gonna see if I can get this situated. Okay, I'm just gonna have to hold it a little bit. So anyway, hey mom, hey Sid. We got some really fun things. Oops, I gotta move this around because it keeps on wanting to fall. There we go. I think that's it. Having some difficulties today because we're still in the barn. Okay, I think that's gonna work. Okay, I think we got it. We have got the swag bags here. I did a little dance when I got them. Hallelujah. Oh, oh, it turned out so good. I love them. We also have, we have pens. Ooh. And then we got some coffee cups. I think I showed those in the last one. And then, there is no sound. Okay, hold on. I don't know why this is not working. Can you hear me now? Maybe I should redo it. Richard, is it working now? I think my headsets were not working. Okay, Jill has sound, so okay, everybody can hear. Okay. I'll try to turn this up a little bit. Okay, anyway, I am still in the barn because this is my life. Lucy is in her bed. She was at the house and then she ran back up. So, okay, everybody can hear. Okay, that's good. So, yes. Okay, thank you. We got the swag bags. And we got the masks. We have white with the logo. We have navy with the logo. We have navy with the words and the logo. It's hard to see. This one looks pretty cute on, not gonna lie. And then we have the words and the logo. They look so good. So they're gonna be in the store. We're so excited. I totally geeked out about all the things. The coffee cup. It's like Christmas morning over here, and we had a little bit of a it was a little bit of a stressful day today. So when the masks arrived, they're so cute. It made me so happy. So that was a good time. Yeah, a couple of announcements. Again, we are getting very close to the 4,000th member of Team Tate TV. So remember, everybody, that you should invite your friends, have them invite their friends, because whoever invites the people and the 4,000th member gets a free working student membership into the academy. So that's great. We're really excited. We're going to have our launch the first week of December. So we are working on getting all of our affiliates a little bit more organized, and yeah, we're just trying to grow the web of our academy. We're having so much fun doing it. I did get to sneak into the tack room chat, so I have been waiting to do it, and we kept laughing because it was going to be really funny that all of a sudden I would just show up in the tack room chat, sneaking in there. But I got to do it with Katie Hiller. I hope I didn't hog it because I clearly am a talker. So Katie did a great job. It was really fun to host with her, and I thought she answered the questions wonderful, and it was wonderful. So can't wait to do it. I mean, I don't get to do it very often, but it's fun. It really is let's just get together and talk training. So that is also, if you missed that during the day, everything on the Academy, you can go back and watch it later. There's an app on your phone. You can listen to it while you're tacking up, while you're driving. It's super easy, and I am like not a tech wizard, and I can do it, and it's very easy and accessible. So I hope you guys check that out. We are also really excited to share. I had the best talk with Dr. Jenny Susser the other day, and we videotaped it because she gave us it's like a lecture, but it was kind of like a conversation between us two. And it was called, what did we say? It's all about, she's a trained psychologist, but she always laughs when she's like, when I put sport in front of it, everybody accepts that a lot easier. So she's a sports psychologist, and she's helped me with a lot of things. I laugh when I told her things I don't even think she remembers telling me have really stuck with me. Riding is such a mental game, and having tools to not only know who you are really important, but also how to work through things like that. We all get nervous. We've talked about the other Wednesday. We all, worry we're not good enough, that, we don't have enough worth. We start to get worried about what might happen, and we kind of make that up sometimes, what actually might happen. And so Dr. Jenny has just a wonderful way to explain things. And I've just always loved her and adored her. So the title of her talk is, How Do I Work This Thing? And it's about the science and systems of energy and performance. And so it's a little bit long, but I mean, honestly, it went so fast. We were talking for probably over an hour, and I mean, it just felt like it went so fast. So hope you guys join us. We're gonna put that out on Friday, so I'll probably give a little reminder about what time that's gonna come out. So look for that. Dr. Jenny is awesome, and yeah, we all need help, controlling ourselves and what is going on in our minds, because sometimes it makes things up, and we have to remind it that that's actually not true, but we sort of create this core belief about something. Oh, she's gonna do this at the show, or oh, I'm not good enough, or whatever. And it just a lot of times you're just making that up. And so it's important to find your way to the real truth. And I love it that Dr. Jenny has so many ways for us to figure out that there's so much science about what we're thinking. And I mean, honestly, that we are all the same. She works with top athletes. She works with CEOs, just top people, doctors, all, it's not just riders, so I love that about her as well, that she was also, she did swimming, and she was in the selection trials for the Olympics, so she knows what it's like to compete and be under stress, and she just has a great way to explain it. She also normalizes it, so when we feel like we're the only person in the planet that is having stomach issues before we compete, or we feel like we're going to throw up because we're nervous, that's actually completely normal. And it's important for everyone to know that. We all think ooh, I'm not great at competing, or I get nervous to ride in this clinic. And, we all get nervous about some stuff. And Dr. Jenny can really help you understand what that is, know yourself, figure out how to, manage yourself in the best way. So that will come out Friday. So that's fun. What did I do this last week since I've seen you last? I taught a really fun clinic at Susie Weedman's place, Ovation Farm, over in Sanford, North Carolina. It was so fun to get off the island because, yeah, it's just, with these videos in the academy, honestly, I've been feeling like I'm explaining things better. And honestly, you know, and this has been kind of a really fun discovery that I can use some of the videos for references. So I know Tanya, one of our trainers, came, and that was really fun to be able to. She came with her little note. It was so cute. Like she's my girl. She comes with her little, you know, piece of paper of notes. She's like, okay, these are the questions. Casey Betzel does that too. I love it. They come with their like list of notes about the swivel seat and the canter, the draping leg, you know, how do I get my toes in and my heels away? So that was really fun to have that common language and to be like, oh yeah, remember, you know, go look at that video because that is related to what we're working on with that horse. So that was fun to teach a clinic. Everybody was, you know, wearing masks and social distancing and far away from everybody. So that was good. And Susie and Isabel are our wonderful hosts and fed me well and got a lot of rest. And yeah, it was a great weekend. So that was fun. And now tomorrow we head over to the Tryon CDI because Gideon, Caninmont Gunsmoke's Gideon, is doing the CDIW for the freestyle. So we're really fun to get our Macho Man music back out. And so yeah, we're going to head over there tomorrow. We compete Friday morning and Sunday morning. So everybody like send your good vibes. And yeah, we got a couple new horses in training. A wonderful, wonderful Grand Prix mare that we're really proud to represent for Mo Swanson. She's amazing. Anybody looking for a horse, let us know. Darling horse. And yeah, everyone else is going pretty good. Freddie had a good week. And okay, this is something. Apollo was amazing yesterday. And today I had Richard bring out the video camera to send some videos to my coach. And then he was just like, it's frustrating. So frustrating. He's amazing and like difficult and just, so the struggle is real, everyone. We're all on our own different path of what we're learning, and we just have to be okay with being uncomfortable sometimes. So, yeah, so that was, we've got some new staff members, so we're excited about that and helping everybody learn the ropes around here, so that's good. But the topic for tonight that I really want to narrow in on was, I was looking through the seminar for Charles de Kunffy, and I really hope you guys can all come. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to social distance everybody. It'll be really safe. We can put up the panels so you will be warm in the arena. Charles is amazing. I don't know how he just does it at his age. He's amazing. So much just passion to teach classical dressage. So I just encourage everybody to seize the day and come and hear him in person because there is nobody like Charles. So we've got some exciting participants that are coming. So I can't wait for that. And I was reading through the advertisement and what, you know, Catherine, Charles, and I brainstormed about, you know, what should we talk about? What do we get across? How do we get across? You know, so everyone's going to be able to come and learn what they're looking at, what's the biggest priority that needs to change, and how do we get the rider to make the correct improvement in the horse. And one of his concepts was the idea of exaggeration versus replicate. And I love that concept because I was actually talking to a very dear friend of mine, Kelly Wachter. I wonder if she's watching. But we were talking about that like in clinics and in, you know, just conversations. And what is this idea of exaggerating certain things versus replicating? Like when we see Charlotte Dujardin riding, we are like, oh my God, she's amazing. I want to ride just like that. I want to replicate exactly how she's sitting, her elbows, her chest, her back. It's amazing. But we also have to recognize the whole idea of Hegel's dialectics. And I gave a lecture in the academy about this. I believe it was about how to develop the seat. But Hegel's dialectics, really is about the process of noticing what is the thesis. And the thesis is what is happening right this moment. And then your antithesis is what do I want to have happen? And then your synthesis in the middle is how do I get there? And so when you think about like Charlotte Dujardin as your rider that you want to replicate, like just riding around in only that form, there's a time and a place for that, but there's also something important about the exaggeration of the way to get there. And so what we mean by that, like let's take a horse for instance. Like what do I have? Let's take Isaac, for those of you in the academy, Isaac is our amazing, dazzling, dapper 4th level horse. He's getting ready to do the St. George soon. He is a rescue pony from the countryside in Tennessee. I mean, starved. He was a stallion. It's amazing. And he's just a totally great horse. And he had this terrible, hammock body, and we called him the cornucopia because it just looked like the cornucopia shape, and then his cute little head was on the top. And so that was our thesis. What is it that we have? Well, we have an upside down, feral, opinionated, extremely smart rescue horse. And what's our antithesis? Well, we'd like to produce a Grand Prix horse. And then the question is, how do we get there? And so he's upside down, head up, whatever. And we want to do the opposite. We want to stretch that horse way down. Because then in the middle becomes a supple, elastic, connected horse. And so it's interesting where it's we want a Grand Prix horse, but we can't just practice the end. We have to understand that there's means to the end. And so, yes, we want this Prix St. George horse, but we can't just take this upside down feral pony and then ride it this replicating this Prix St. George horse with his pole up and his, he's going to not develop that back at all, or develop his body in a way that can carry the rider in a better way. So how do we get that? What is our synthesis? Stretch him down, make him pull his neck out of his back, that he raises the saddle and you get the hind legs under and the neck round so that he learns how to bring the back up. And so that looks like nothing like the end, right? So we need to always practice the means to the end. And so that's so similar to a rider's seat. So we have to recognize where we're at, what's happening. I bounce a little bit and my legs are wiggly and I get a little bit leaning forward and holding on to the horse's mouth. Well, okay, that's my thesis. What is my antithesis? I would like to look like Charlotte Dujardin. And then it's okay, how do I get there? I need to go on the lunge line with no reins and no spurs and no stirrups and do everything else but ride exactly in that vertical. In order to have a beautiful seat up at the vertical, you need to be able to lean back behind the vertical and really you know, we talk about it like leaning behind the vertical like 45 degrees to gain that strength and stability through the rider's core to be able to loosen the hips and follow that horse's motion. If we just stay like that beautiful, straight, you know, like not rigid, but like tight, you know, like she's really secure with where she's sitting. But if we haven't gotten loose and supple and following the horse's wave of motion, when we go to sit like Charlotte Dujardin, we might actually just be stiff. And so that's not what we want, because that's not going to produce what we want in that horse. And so it's important to kind of think about teaching and producing things in ourselves and our horses by this concept of when do we exaggerate something and when do we replicate that like ideal image. And, you know, kind of thinking about that too is Charles always says we have to do what the horse needs and not what he wants. And that's usually the opposite. So I love that too, because that's, you know, I have a fast running inverted horse above the bit, and I want it to be round and bowed up in the back and available with its hind legs to come under the body. How do I get that? You know, I have to then exaggerate for that horse that like, horse, you need to go long and low with your neck and slow the heck down. Slow it down. Another funny story Charles always talks about with Hegel's dialectics, as far as what are your means to the end, is, you know, we always talk about like the journey. You know, it's not the end that counts, it's what we learn along the way. And that's so similar to this Hegel's dialectics, as far as like, what's the thesis? I'm poor. What is my antithesis? I would like to be rich. And so how do I get there? Well, I could go to school and get a job and get a good job, and then 12 years later, I will be rich, which is the long view. I could, if I feel like that's too hard, I could go rob a bank. But then the new like synthesis becomes the new thesis. So then I am poor, I want to be rich, I go rob a bank. That becomes, robbing the bank becomes the new thesis, which then turns into, then I go to jail. You know, and so it's so important to think about not just these end points or those ideals that we are reaching for. It's that first we have to understand we will never achieve perfection. That's just never going to happen in any way. Perfect person, perfect wife, perfect rider, perfect trainer, always making the right decision. You know, that's unattainable. And we all have to accept that that's not happening. And so it's about striving for that excellence and that idea of what is happening during my process of becoming that. You know, when I'm on the lunge line and I've got Charlotte Dujardin as that's my antithesis. That's where I want to be one day. But I cannot just practice that means. I will not be following the horses. I have to do everything but ride in that exact position, because the means then creates the end. And so when I go on the lunge line, or I ride without stirrups, or I do my yoga or whatever, that produces the better end result by actually not practicing the end result. So I hope you guys kind of get that idea. And yes, I know the girls just posted. You can look more. The girls made up some wonderful slides about Hegel's dialectics. And it's a fascinating thing to think about as far as like stretching the horse down or leaning back behind the vertical. How do I truly develop a seat that when you look at the rider, you want to have the idea that you cannot tell where the rider's seat begins and the saddle ends. It's just connected. It's just like one, like sometimes when I wear like black riding pants, I imagine like I am sitting just part of the saddle, and from far away, I don't want anyone to see that I am not completely connected to the horse's motion and going. And so, Charles also always talks about that the horse needs to be able to carry us around like he carries his kidney or his eyeball, and it's so cute when he says it, and I just love it. And it's like, so, find that way, and don't be stuck in that idea of like, I must only ride in this form, just like this, because that's just already too rigid. And the horse is going to be like, whoa, why are you so tight? You're like, because I'm riding like Charlotte Dujardin, I'm just got myself really in a great form, And then the horse is like, what is happening to you up there? You're so tight, So we want to always think about the means, write down the means, journal about the means, because you will most likely, when we train horses, everything is very cyclical also. So something you work through with the horse when it was 6, you're probably going to like circle back around again in 2 years. And that same thing is going to be evident, maybe in a little bit different way, but it kind of has the same base, and you're going to be able to work through it again. And so then when it's 12 and it's getting ready to do the Grand Prix, you're going to run into something similar again. And you're going to have remembered, first off, know that that's normal. Second, know that I've gotten through this once before, so I know how to get through it. It's best if you write it down so that you like for sure have proof. I'm like a note taker. I took 3 pages of notes with Dr. Jenny. Like, I love notes. But that sense of like, I am feeling this. How did I get through that? And sometimes it takes, the first time it comes around, it might take trial and error, and that's also okay. But then as you get through it, the first time, you're gonna be able to get through it again the second time a little bit sooner. You're gonna be like, oh, that doesn't bother me or scare me because I've been through this already, and I understand this process. I understand the means to my end, because the end is just this wonderful result. And it's funny because a lot of times in lessons, that's the part we remember. Oh, and I just had this amazing half pass to the left. Oh, and then it's like, yeah, but what was the last 15 minutes that led up to that amazing event? Because we're all pretty kinesthetic, and I think that's why we love riding dressage, because it's a feel and it's this connection with your horse on a whole nother level, like soul to soul, that you're just thinking something and the horse is doing it, and it's just like amazing. And so that idea of really taking care of what that means is huge, and that the answers are in that depth. And we have to understand how we got there, what did we do, and what was the process, because it's easy to just remember the end result. So I don't have any wine up here because here. But I do have some smart water. So cheers to everybody at home. I don't want to say challenge everybody, but it would be fun to think about, like, what's your Hegel's dialectics? Like, where are you at right now? Where do you want to go? And map out your way to get there. And then write it down. So, thank you guys so much for joining. I have to pack up and get ready for the horse show, so I'm going to go. We'll probably go live again at some point from Tryon because I want to do another announcement about Dr. Jenny, so none of you forget. And it'll be fun. We're going to show in the indoor this weekend, so it'll be really fun. Kind of feels like a whole new venue, so that'll be great. So anyway, I will see you soon, and make it a great night, you guys. Bye.